Hello and welcome to All Talk No Dice, the worst excuse for a D&D show you can find online. Just before we get into this, we had a new follower last week, which I didn't catch at the end of the episode because I'm stupid. But I just want to thank PandaBear99 for the follow. Thank you for the support, it's always fun. And and we just want to say we really enjoyed all of the action in chat last week. It was a lot of fun to see your guys' reactions, so we look forward to more. But from last we left off, the Companions of Fate continued building their friendships where they could. Gerald enticed Red, your tween bandit hostage, for more information regarding the planned ambush of your party with the promise of coin from your old Kopara enemy, Midola Pike. You learned of places to avoid, places of interest, and finding inside knowledge of Pike's plans that await all of you within Girolf, alongside some history from Red that hit home a little for Taro. Soon after, you had all had your fill, with Gerald's business complete, allowing you to all do whatever you wish with Red and her brother as you pleased. Within moments of words being exchanged, with Red asking for her brother to go away and not pull her down anymore, Cyanide just stuck her dagger deep into his head and let the crimson run down his form, the cackling ending within a few quick moments as his life is lost. Through some conversation with Terra, Ralof and Theron, quickly followed by a quick fistfight, rage-induced practice brawl with Ralof to show her skills, and with Red, you all decided, at least right now, just to keep her alive in hopes that she may be useful, or maybe more useful than you expect. Following the test of strength and resolve with your new prisoner ally, Cyanide wished her best for your travels, granting a couple of you some boons and items that may be helpful in the near future, before Adelon and Gerald share their love once more, before you all begin to wish the Draconian guests a fond farewell. Now, as you all stand next to the hazy and unconscious Red, taking a couple souvenirs from Adelon's dragon form, before you watch the Queen and her daughter fly off through the cloud cover and into the far-off northeast, to the faraway land of New Draconia, leaving you all with only 3 days left of your journey until you reach Jotunheim and whatever lies ahead. This is where we pick it up. So, is there anything anyone wants to do immediately? As the distant flapping of Adelon's wings just get quieter and quieter as the silhouette leaves in the distance.
What I will do while I remember is I will check my pot of pleasantness, see what's grown.
Okay.
Because it would be a new day.
Okay. You pull it out and you see this crystallized, almost frozen in place, like or this almost icicle of a stem that winds unnaturally, and at the top there's almost like almost just like an omnicolored sunflower of this jet cyan blue, and some of the leaves coming off are just a little thorny as they just sort of decorate the outside of this sunflower. The entire thing, it almost looks, compared to the dirt, where the dirt in the pot is just brown, fresh earth. This sunflower is just looks almost frozen, but still actively just swaying in the breeze.
Okay. Can I check what it is then?
Sure. I take you don't need to roll, or do you need to roll to see what it is?
There's nothing specific on it. I assume I would need to roll, but I do have, I think, either advantage. Well, I imagine I'd add my proficiency bonus because I've got herbalism kit proficiency. Because I think that helps with identifying.
Yeah, so roll a nature check for me.
Yeah.
And add your proficiency for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember if it's adds advantage or just adds that value. I'll just go with the value for now anyway.
Yeah.
That's 16.
16. You inspect this flower a little bit more, and you very quickly come to the conclusion that this is a flower that is known in common as Chillwind's Touch. The origin of this flower is usually set to two different places, set in the ice-cold north, usually around Jotunheim.
Yeah.
And set to the highest of mountain peaks where no life would ever grow. You would find a small patch of these Chillwind touches there, and more so as well down in the sort of down on the ground in the snow-covered earth and stone, usually set around large bodies of water.
Do I know any sort of uses for it, or is it just more of a common flower?
I guess with that roll, mostly it would just be the common, just a common flower, just pretty and nice to look at. But you have heard of some kind of some potential with these flowers, if made into some kind of serum or potion of sorts, can cause relatively short-term paralysis.
I'll just pocket that one. Okay. Keep that in mind.
I can see you putting it in between books. Within pages,
Yeah.
sorry. Crush it firmly with 2 books.
Yeah, well, just press it in.
Yeah. I'll just save that one for later. Massive guy, smallest book.
Kurid, straight away as you see him, is just still looking out to the distant silhouette that's becoming a dot by now.
She was so beautiful.
She was.
I have a new life mission.
Go on.
She is the queen. I shall be her king.
That's it, buddy. You get in there.
We made a connection when she looked at me.
We could see it from here.
Well, if you do manage to get with the Queen Currid, you'll be sort of pat Gerald's shoulder. See, this one's father in that case.
I'd have 2 dads.
I'm sure we'll iron that out if it comes to that.
We don't need to worry about it that much.
That was a nice time with new friends.
It was.
Speaking of which, actually, why did you want to scale?
Me?
You're the one who took it.
I just wanted to inspect it a little and to see if we can maybe put it into a weapon for this guy pointing it right off.
Kurid just silently just begins to over the side again.
Before you go,
Yes, Captain.
sorry, I was asked to give you this as well. At one point, I'll pull out Theron's note, his soppy note thing to give to him. Read it whenever you get a chance.
Thank you.
I thought he was gonna drop. Flies in the wind.
That's why I didn't say it was from Theron.
Yeah, Eddie. And just the arachnid legs just unnaturally just creep over the side and just roll his body just up and over and around.
I mean, unless we manage to find a blacksmith who can work with scales, we're probably not going to be doing much with it anytime soon.
No.
You
But
could
we can
always
inspect
try
it,
putting
though.
it into a potion.
Maybe the damaged one. Chip a bit off. In rough size, how big is the scale? Are we talking like a fist size? Or...
For the boards.
Yeah. So I've got one that is an intact scale.
Oh,
and
sorry, for the
one,
scale. For the scales.
Like I think it's 2 that's damaged.
Yeah. So one full scale.
Yeah.
The length is probably from about the tip of my fist to my elbow.
Sick. Okay.
And I'd say about double the width of my forearm.
Okay.
So it's kind of like almost like a plate.
So,
yeah, like you can hold it to your chest. It probably covers a good portion of your chest.
If I were to use the broken one, like, because it's roughly about 2 halves, or is it both of them equal to 1? But obviously it's damaged.
I think I remember saying with the broken pieces, then you have I can't remember if I said 2 or 3, like scales worth, but that's including like you've got one full intact one, and then you grab chunks that Adelon was okay with you stealing,
Pulling out.
or borrowing and not giving back. The parts of scales that you're able to get off roughly accumulate to 2 full scales worth.
Cool. Would, because I have a shield on my arm. Is there a piece that would be big enough to replace my wooden board here?
I mean the full scale would work well.
Yeah, but I'm thinking for the full scale one, it would be used to make as the weapon. We could chop one end and put it on a big ass.
So
right off.
I'd say with some time you could probably construct a couple of the pieces or like say 3 or 4 of the pieces to be able to organize it and fit it as a buckler of sorts.
Okay, cool. No worries, that's fine. At least there's an idea in place. I'm happy with that. No worries, that's cool. Yeah, so that was my plan. Did you have a plan that you want to use it for, or?
I hadn't really thought. It would make almost a very pretty bracer.
That's fair. But so what's the plan gonna be? What we gonna do?
Yes. I was thinking as well. We need to discuss our party dynamic. As much as I'm enjoying being the captain and a lovely figurehead of the ship. What we do off the ship, we probably need to figure out how we coordinate ourselves.
It's true.
You hear a couple
technically party leader.
You hear a couple of footfalls just coming up the deck, or from the steps. Yeah, I'll call dibs on leading us.
No.
Why not?
I'd much rather could. To be honest.
I mean, we are going into his hometown.
Exactly. Well. Yeah.
Temporary leadership.
It's about time that Theron. About time that Theron gets to decide where we go and how we go about it. I mean, come on. Gerald just said it. It's my home. It's my problem. My history.
So, Raylos? Were you in the same place?
The continent, sure, but not the town.
True.
Tara, just get on your knees and accept me as your leader.
Theon, it's not gonna happen.
You two need a minute. Me and Gerald can always go down if you need to.
You want to go down?
Oh, we're going down now, are we?
Someone's going down, eh?
Looks like yeah, I'll side on Theron. So you want the minute?
Now, Rayloff, are you going down, or are you the one standing while you want Gerald to go down?
Well, it depends. Do you want to go down that way, or am I going to point it off the ship? Just
I mean,
dead
I didn't-
stare at him.
Or
As I
maybe
said it,
you
I
want to
think
go
just
down
left. I need at
and-
least 5 minutes to recharge.
you just see a Theron. Or maybe Rayloff, you want to go down that way, and you just see like a small sort of like undulating light of magic in his hand.
I'm going to go towards him.
And he just takes 2 steps back as he holds his position.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm going to get sort of 10 feet away from him. Because I'm assuming by now he's going to be stopped by the side.
Yeah, he kind of... Talking about going down? Listen, I'm your leader now. Just accept what I say.
Hold on. I was only bringing this up as a discussion. There is
Okay, listen,
party-
but... seriously, though. It's my town, my home, my family, my problem.
It's true. But the last time you gave an order, you left.
Well, you know, I mean, I had
Oh,
important things to do.
we were in Brenton. You left me with the shopkeeper, and you left.
Well, yeah,
Never
but
to come back.
I knew you could
Please
handle
tell
that.
me, but the leader can't do that.
Well, really, the leader can, you know, if he gets all of his affairs in order, then they're able to just go to the side for, like, you know, a second or two.
Especially if it's for a hot piece of ass.
Exactly. Or we're going down.
Or if it's for a separate job.
I don't have any other jobs
You told us
right now.
that last time.
Sure, but I don't have any now.
Well, yeah, because now your employer wants all of us dead.
Well, he doesn't really want us dead,
He
really.
does.
No, he just wants us out the picture.
Yeah. It's pretty much dead then. Yeah.
But this.
I
We could
agree.
let Theron take control and have this as his way of showing his apology.
Yeah.
He needed
Anything.
something to prove himself.
And if you go off the track, anytime, all trust is gone.
Listen,
I'm not going to put it on these from me.
listen, we trust each other, Tara. You and me, we're like this.
Was till you
We
left.
are. Listen, other business, you know, I had to take care of.
And then decided
But
to
I'm here
have
now.
more business.
To be
But
frank,
I'm here.
Euron, if you want to lead us to your home because you know it better than us, do it. But I've already stood and protected you once from going off the deep end. I'm not going to do it again.
I get it, and you know I appreciated that.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate all of you guys being open to go to my home and see if we can reclaim it or
Yeah.
do something. I really mean that.
Now, in terms of fighting, who wishes to lead us in that?
Yeah, I got it. Don't you worry.
You're going to be a tactical mastermind as well?
Well, I mean, I am I'm a master of time, so... Time.
I'm just here to cause disruptions and shit. I don't really have much combat prowess now. I'm getting nifty with the sword, but otherwise.
I could wing it, but I don't really have all too much experience either.
Well, Theron can. Well, what?
And you hear Rad at this point. I'll be a battle master.
You can just rest down there.
Alright,
Why
mate.
is she? Why is she unconscious or barely conscious? I went
Oh,
away for a few minutes.
that's because Rayloff just fucking plowed her.
Oh, so
For
that's
1
what you're
minute.
into.
I mean,
Oh,
plowed a
it's-
fist into her face multiple times. It was kind of crazy looking, but it's cool. It was brutal,
Young girl.
defenseless, just couldn't even fight back really.
How old's Rayloff, sorry? Have we been told how old Rayloff is?
You haven't been told now.
No, but we know he's a man.
What do we guess he looks like?
You know he's a man.
Okay.
From what you can tell, yes.
A lot.
Roll
large
a
adults, young child.
Gerald. Roll a perception check on Rayloff, just to see if you can.
See
If
if
you
he's a
can.
man.
No, if you can ascertain a close guess on his age, and then Rayloff,
So,
you can answer.
Natural 20, total 27.
Fucking hell.
You are precisely. This.
So Rayloff,
Okay.
from that roll from Gerald, how old does he think you are, or does he see you as?
You could say younger because you feel
It's
younger.
completely up to you. What you see, what you look like.
You haven't showered for a long time though, I will say. Fucking stink, I can smell you from here. And we're in the air. How high are we? Sorry, DM?
I mean, give or take, you're probably about 2,500 feet up.
Fair play. Do we actually struggling to breathe at all, or are we?
No,
kind of
you're
immediately okay?
yeah, you're kind of like traveling just through the cloud cover. You're not pushing above or anything like maybe Adelon and Gerald flew up to for a moment before they flew down.
Right, back to age.
Yeah, sorry. One question kind
You
of
can
led to
tell-
another.
From what you see on him, you can tell is that time hasn't been as kind to him, especially with having the ice constantly going on him. Probably doesn't help, but you can sort of tell he is sort of around 37, 38-ish, the late 30s going into 40s mark.
Okay.
But he's definitely weathered.
Nah, bro, night shift ain't that hard. Luke's 50 years older. Sorry, did that Tara actually ask the question out loud? How old is he as well?
No, I didn't. So I asked.
Metagame.
Fair enough. Then I shall just stay quiet on that.
So yeah, Rayloff beat the fuck out of her. It was insane.
It was pretty good to watch.
She didn't really do all
Didn't
that
do
bad.
No. Don't trust her.
I trust her.
You trust anyone. You're meant to be the leader.
Listen, there's always potential.
Yeah, there's always. Not when they just try to attack us.
Listen, if that was the rule, then you wouldn't have let me join this group. Remember what happened right at the start? Because of...
Sympathy.
No.
We saw
Trust.
you
Or the second
crush
time.
inside.
Just the first time, really. What happened the second time, anyway? I didn't do anything.
You did everything.
You went on
You
a
mean-
job without telling us, and
Well, that
no
isn't
one was
really
got
a
us
second
killed.
thing. No,
No, it 100% is the second thing.
it was a minor inconvenience.
Major.
I don't think it was a minor convenience for all the bodies that were left in the bar, was it?
No. You're right. Sorry.
But we've already gone over that.
Yeah.
I must preface, I'd like to avoid doing that to the whole of Fred's clan, family thing. As much as they are trying to kill us for money, I don't quite want to just kill that many people.
You and
I agree, but only because of I've forgotten his name. The Birdfolk guy,
Ike.
Pike.
Pike. I think Pike is gonna want them to change. Does Gerald know that I've looked into what this
Gerald knows that
little
you
vial.
looked into it.
I know
Okay.
you looked into
Ah,
it,
Yeah,
but
you haven't given it. You haven't given
Okay,
any
okay.
information.
Ah,
Well, you give a
Oh, yeah,
you give a brief description for it to us.
say,
Yeah.
You just say,
I
"Do
don't
not
want
drink
this.
it."
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't.
You didn't say why.
Cool. I'm gonna pull out the vial. They all have one of these, apart from her brother. It changes them. Changes them into something wild. But when they consume it, they change. But it's like a last. Once they've used everything up, they die.
And how long does it last?
I can pull out my notes. If I'm right, it's
Sure,
when
it's
they
a
actually
minute.
die with the creature. They
The-
die as
the-
well as the forms.
The
die.
serum lasts. The effect lasts for 1 minute.
1 minute. What I can tell, it lasts for about a minute.
Hmm.
But when they die, their form dies as well. I think the plan is to get them all crazy. So
Tara,
they're gone.
just so I know that the process of the serum is clear. So they consume it. The effect
Yeah.
of the transformation lasts for a minute, and
Yeah.
at the end of that minute,
Yeah.
they die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All it is,
Whether
I
or
just
not
don't
they
want
use
to
it
jump.
as a last leg attempt or not.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming if they do die while it's still active, they still die anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like polymorph where they'll just change back.
No.
So we need to avoid baiting them into drinking that potion at all costs.
Yeah, and they turn into a green sludge.
And you hear Red at that point just kind of like mutter under her breath. I could get my father to help you.
I'm telling you now, I really don't want to trust her. I don't trust her. I don't trust what Pike has probably done to her.
I trust you though, friend.
Thanks, Fred.
Actively.
She's
Welcome.
still charmed.
And she's still in and out.
Yeah. Go up to her. Non-lethal. No. Shut the fuck.
Silence.
I mean, I'm impressed that Rayloft didn't break the charm in the first place. But,
What do you mean break
can-
the charm?
oh, you hitting her could have broken that charm. And
What's that?
the only Sorry. But yes, the reason why she's cooperative right now, I could reapply it. But you're gonna have to either trust in her goodwill or have me keep doing it day after day. And it's
It's a hard one.
I don't want to keep controlling somebody for that long. It's not so fun.
Listen, I mean, her brother, complete dipshit. Didn't like him, never liked him. He was a pain. She's not that bad. I mean, she's just a girl.
True, but in Pike's eyes, you were just a messenger.
I was.
Yeah.
And
Not
everyone's
Theron.
disposable.
Right.
Sorry about
I don't. That's what I said. I don't see her as the problem. I see him using her
Then why
to be
don't
the problem.
we use her
But you want
to
to
help
use
our
her
cause?
in
She
that the
lives.
same- in
She
that the
lives. She gets to fight with us. She gets to live some more. You don't need to put a consequence on her for somebody else's actions.
But she's not going to fight her own family.
No, she might not fight them, but maybe get them on our side. Or just one, listen, just one extra tool that may be useful. If she isn't, then we'll find out. We can, since she is charmed, and she will be coming out of it when?
Oh, not till sometime in the next day.
Okay. Closer to the next day then, around this time, a little bit earlier, why don't we just make the brig a little bit comfy, and, you know, hold her for a little bit. Go talk to her, see what she's like without the charm, see if we can appeal to her good nature, or even just mention that we can take you to your people. At least then that might calm her down a little bit to maybe just trust us and not try and slice our throats when we sleep. And if we do worry about that, well, when we go to sleep, guess what? Break time, baby. But we make it comfy. We don't just leave it a hard floor and some straw. Maybe then she might trust that we do have good intentions with her more so. But that's up to the captain. That isn't me. I'm just the ground leader. The ground leader.
No, this does apply for when we're off the ship. We all need to discuss this.
Rayloff, you'd follow me into the eye of it, wouldn't you? You'd follow me right into the eye of the beast, right into the eye of the storm. You'd courageously be by my side as we march on through, right?
Will it be by your side or with me in front and you behind?
Probably you in front and me behind.
Vastly behind. Remembers on how far Magic Missile goes.
Yeah, that sounds more likely. Yeah, well, there's no other plans really, and we did say we would deal with the pirates.
Do we know when we will find them?
Find them to get to Yolnheim?
No, pirates. Wasn't that an issue before in Britain?
Well, it depends on whether or not the pirates are part of Pike's leadership. Because from what we know, that the pirates that we were seeing were being led by a Kapara as well.
Right. Yeah.
And then vast amounts of platinum being offered to pretty much everybody. I'm pretty sure they'd follow him.
I mean, come on. Why do you think I work for him?
To get some.
Because you don't know better.
Shut up and shut up. I was getting paid. I was properly paid on my first ever job.
How many jobs have you taken?
That isn't the point, okay?
No, please tell me.
It isn't the point. Listen, the past is in the past.
It is. Because we've only been with you for 2 jobs. You said the first job you've been paid for. So that's 3.
Right.
How many?
I mean, that's assuming that the first job wasn't just him getting a message to us.
Was that your only job?
Huh?
Was that your only job?
Was it my only job?
How many jobs have you taken from Pike?
It doesn't really matter. You know,
It really does.
I've worked for him just a little bit,
A
and
little bit is how many?
Why are you so adamant on not telling us? Does it matter how many jobs
If he
you've done?
tells us
We're
an
not
answer
going-
related to the number, I want to incite what if that is right or not.
I did since the first job when I met him and he noticed my impeccable skills, he offered me a small little contract for 8 jobs.
8 jobs.
But then
How far along-
I still want to incite that.
okay, roll an inside check for me.
Fucking bluffing. If it is, fair. Cool. Probably not. 13.
He's being honest too,
Okay,
from what you can tell.
that's fine. I'll take it. Okay.
And how far along were you on these jobs before?
Before I met
stopped
you
doing
guys,
this job?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think I was near 6 or 7. Not too far off, at least.
So that second job that you did when you met us,
Mm.
that was the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm going to incite that.
go on.
Yeah,
roll an insight
definitely
check.
incited it on that well.
Yeah, you roll an inside check.
Yeah, I do have a question to DM
Mhm.
from players' guidance.
Yes.
Is this a knowledge that only really Theron would know, as in the player Theron would know, like me playing Tara?
Are you
Would
okay?
he only know
Um,
what Theron's back? Because I don't want to ask you too many questions related to
Sure.
obviously with him not being key
with
to actually answer.
with this, then at least it's known, or it's known knowledge.
Yeah.
But
With you
also
knowing being the DM.
yeah, with a bit of leeway.
I just don't want to push it too far.
No,
one
don't worry
way,
about it.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
If
cool.
if
That's
if it,
fine.
if it gets too far, where I'm like, I have to
I don't
let
want to be
Theon
like
speak
inside.
Yeah. If it gets to the point where I think, okay, well, it's best if Theon were to take over properly,
Sounds good.
then I'll cut out.
Say, cool. No worries.
So,
Thank you.
what did you roll for insight, Rayloff?
13 wasn't the best.
You can tell he's definitely lying through his teeth with that one, or trying to just hint that, yeah, maybe there was a little less, or maybe he'd already completed the 8th. Maybe there was a lot more jobs promised. You're not sure, but all you are sure of is he's being a little dishonest right now to you.
No, something doesn't add up with what you're saying.
What is there? I mean, I did some jobs for the guy. He wrote up a contract, and I needed to complete the contract. Hmm?
The completed one? Do you have it?
No.
He has it.
Right.
What was it just a contract of you do the jobs, you get paid?
Yeah.
Or was it a we'll pay you now, we'll pay you at the end?
It was a contract of employment that had a number on there to say you'll be paid at the start upon employment, and then you'd be paid when your job was done. When
And
they-
you've done those
Wasn't
jobs.
a magically binding contract, was it?
Not that I know of.
Even with your arcane knowledge.
Okay, listen. With me being a master of time, then I'm able to understand if it's an arcane-infused note or message just with a glance. So, yes, it was just normal parchment.
So you do have a
Normal
written
clue.
contract.
I'd like to incite us. Can you actually take it from a glance?
Okay, go on.
Because I feel like that's fucking bullshit, unless he's really good. 14 plus 4, 18.
He's bullshitting.
Yeah, I thought fucking so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play it as, okay, fucking bullshit, in my head.
Well,
I'll shake
we're
my
all
head.
in the same boat now anyway.
Yeah, we're all part of the same
You can-
team.
Yeah, quite literally the same boat.
Thank you. You
Literally.
got this.
Yeah, fucking...
But even if you broke the contract had ended, we've got to just carry on.
Exactly, right? So, I mean, let's face it. He already wanted me dead. Well, he sent someone to, try and kill me
Oh.
anyway when we were at the bar.
I will say, and I'll not deep into his eyes, but directly into his eyes. You won't take another job from him, will you? Even if he offered you a lot of money?
No.
I want insiders.
Okay.
That's probably going to be my last insight. Very high though, 23.
He's being honest. He has no intention of taking any other job with him.
And I will not incite him anymore. I'll take that as true. Unless it's something that's really fucking fishy, then I will.
Yeah,
But
sure.
that's probably going to be my last insight towards him. Okay.
So, now that that's cleared up, what are we doing?
Well, you're going to tell us what we're going to do when we're there.
As your ground leader,
Oh, you know the place more than us.
Theron Lofstofson, ground leader, master of time and the arcane. Yeah.
Okay. Rayloff, where's the best place we should really stop?
Okay, listen. Okay, all right, come on.
Okay.
So, are we going to have help? And he just starts gesturing to Red down on the floor. Or are we going in alone?
Sneaky beak like.
Sneaky beaky like.
Exactly.
It is kind of what the what I've heard it be referred to in common, or I hear it in the more dwarvish accent.
If we're going peaceful, I'd suggest we want help. If we want to go straight to Birdman, covert and by ourselves, I feel.
I feel like that's a good idea.
How are we going to be going in covert with the ship?
I thought our original plan was to go to the south port and then walk our way to the town.
Yeah.
I thought
You would
as-
think
as-
they
as
would
a
have
ship-
people waiting in the ports.
True, but they wouldn't be. They
But
wouldn't
what
be
I can do, they're going to be looking out for Red and her team. I will disguise as her team.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
They'll see us all come in and report back that they were successful.
Red's downstairs.
Hmm?
Red's downstairs.
No, she's on the top deck with you. She is unconscious
Give me 1 sec.
and hazy.
Gonna go over to her. Do they? I'll just tap her in the face a little to kind
Just,
of give
yeah.
her, wake her up, daze her off. Out.
Yeah.
Do they know that the ship can go from the sea to the sky, or do they think it's a flying vessel?
We were told you can fly.
But it's a ship that can fly.
Right.
Okay, cool.
When are you making me battle master?
Never. Okay, so they know it can. This ship can fly and go back to sailing. So they've probably manned both. Rayloff, how many ports is there in your name? Unless Theron, you know? Is it just this other one and the one that we were talking about if we did bring it to the flying one?
Well, from what I remember, those are the two ports that might be available from the south. Either the one at the south, where that south port is that we were saying about, or the flying one.
Could we dock the ship anywhere else?
Do I know of anywhere else? Of any other docks?
Or is there a
Realistically?
place that we could literally park the boat?
We could
For
throw
now.
it anywhere, but anyone could go and steal it.
So, Rayloff, roll a history check for me, please.
Okay.
I'm thinking if we could stop the Venus, stop the
That's
vessel.
for 20.
Nowhere near.
Natural
Nice.
20.
Yeah.
Nice. What's the total?
Well, it doesn't matter because I have +0, so it's
Fuck
20.
yeah. Okay, well, 20 is still awesome.
At least 20.
Okay, so you would know of ports-wise. There's a standard port towards Lakeside Granstead, which is at the far, far south of Yoldheim, that you already know of.
Yeah.
There's There may be a couple piers in Failtros. That is a little bit further northwest of
Northwest.
of Lakeside Grandstead.
So I imagine literally where that little icon is there. Or it would be further up.
So I need to swap over ping again.
So would it
Yes.
be sort of here?
Yeah. So that's where Failtros is. Lakeside Grandstead is over here, down to the far south. And then you do know of the major capital of Yaldheim.
Yeah, that's this one to the north.
Yeah, far north,
Yeah.
Krillgard Charge, has a skyship port.
Yeah. But other than that, that's really the only ports. They could probably fit the size of this ship.
If you were open to traveling a good while, you might think about flying over Yaldheim, further towards the west of Yaldheim, within the continent, just before you get to Mugala on the far, far west of the continent. You do know of the large body of water that has since long been frozen over,
Yeah.
that would easily accommodate your ship if you were to fly in, drift down, and park it there.
I'm assuming that's this one here. This long little lip.
Yes, that is the large body of water that could be there. Could park the ship. So just quick run through again. So Lakeside Grandstead, far south. You got Failtros, which has another pier or a couple piers. Krillgard Charge has a skyship port.
Yep.
And the large body of water that is Icewind's Whisper is the large body of water, the large lake that has been frozen for centuries. That at least the ship could land on.
Do both Rayloff and Theron know this knowledge?
Rayloff more so than Theron.
Okay, cool.
It's
Does
a
Rayloff
question.
relay this information to us?
Yeah. What? The one thing I will ask.
No.
Get a fucking grip. Carry on.
The one thing I will ask is because my town of Guldrome was a sort of what's the word, a riverside town or oceanside town. Would we be able to get the ship to go down towards there if we came in up to this bit of water here and came in on sea?
Yeah, where your home is it's
It's like here, isn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's going up to the mountains.
yeah, just to the mountain base of the Giant's Throne mountain peaks. So yeah, you definitely have a shot of getting in from there, and then Girolf, from what I remember, is I think it was just about here where I'm pinging.
Okay.
So just maybe a couple miles out of the mountain peaks, or just with the mountain peak, where the feet of the mountains just set behind the town.
How do I do that? Can I just control Z? No. I want to get rid of that just so I can do it in a different color.
Which one do you want to get rid of?
Where in the middle of the mountains.
Okay.
No. Where? Yeah, that one. Red circle on it. Boom. There we go.
Destination
we want.
found.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to separate it, just so.
You should have done it in not red because our ship is red.
Yeah, but that just shut up. Stop being picky.
Oh, I've done it now and I can't remember the change.
It's alright.
But anyway, yeah, I will relay this back to.
Okay. As you're relaying, you hear Red as she's like sort of slowly, hazily
There you go.
waking up a little bit. Listen, me father can help you. If we get there, and we can make sure you're safe. And, well, you want to pay us properly, we could definitely change sides a little bit. Just
I'm all for
saying,
paying.
my father, he's the leader of our people, so he can help you. Just need to ask. Oh, my head is killing me.
And just for curiosity's sake, how much money would we need to sway you?
Well, we were promised about 800 for all of us.
I'm going to hand her a water skin at least. And so if we gave you 1,000 gold,
Thank you.
you'd be pretty willing to change sides?
Oh, I mean, we were promised 800 platinum. But that was to rebuild us over and over and have enough left over that our homesteads can stay where they are and get better. And my kids and their kids and their kids after that will have a home for life if they want it.
It's an impressive amount of money considering we were meant to have stole this from that man.
Well, there you go, thank you.
Alright.
Well, and she just like sits up against the mast and she's just like still sitting on the ground but head a little bit tilted onto the mast. Huh?
Theron, do you know if Ike makes contracts for everybody?
Well, I mean,
Do he make deals with?
he made one for me, but then, I mean, I wasn't able to get a job done in time.
But he made
And-
contracts.
And well, yeah, he makes contracts most of it, at least with independent contractors like me.
Would Red have one?
Probably not. Maybe whoever's leading them might have one. Or might be in their name to lead their people to do whatever the contract says.
Those contracts that you were doing,
Right.
how many of them were written down?
It was one solid contract for all eight jobs.
Right.
It was more like a timed employment. It wasn't, it was like, so you got 8 jobs to do in this much time. Do it.
And then, so for the second job, was that outside this 8?
That was my last.
That was your last.
So if you can understand, that's why I had to go and try and get it done. And then I was contract free. Free from Pike. Free from the weird bird shenanigan stuff.
Oi, I'm still here.
Listen, you're more like a crow than you are a bird.
Crows are birds.
Okay,
but
yeah, I get that, but you look at a parrot and you look at a crow, and which one would you say is more like bird-like?
They both have wings.
Sure, but a parrot. I mean, look at Gerald. I mean, he's a sex fiend.
Yeah,
Crows don't fuck like bunnies.
they might. Do you know them?
I know this one.
Exactly. I'm the best example you've got.
Or the worst.
That's what I was thinking. But yeah, if
Don't make me fight my fight to life instincts. I'm a flightless bird, motherfucker.
right, okay, I'll tone it down. But yeah, if there's a contract, then it would go to whoever's in charge. If you're
I was
independent,
thinking more if it was an individual contract per job.
it might be for one job, it might be for multiple jobs. Every contract's different, but he wouldn't have written one out for every single person that's taking part. He'd just use whoever's in charge and make it collectively. Like,
Actually,
hey,
that's a
everyone gets
point.
paid.
For that job that we all did you get paid for that? Honestly.
You mean the first thing we ever did together?
Yeah.
The one that we got paid with sand.
Yeah, I got paid
No,
for that.
Yeah, separately, I'm assuming.
Right.
And it was only after what went down that you stopped getting paid.
Right. And I was supposed to get a really good payday after the 8th, right? You know, complete the contract, big, nice sum of money. But because what we were doing, I didn't really have too much time to get it all done by the deadline, and that's when they sent that other guy over, and he tried to kill us. Or
Did he
or
try
was
to
sent
kill you straight
me.
away? Or did
Well,
he
I
try
mean,
to
that's what
kill
I
you after it
remember.
went down?
No, I think he tried to kill me first.
I'm gonna incite that. Because
Okay.
I do not believe that at all.
All right, roll insight for me.
Mostly because the meta game, I saw it how it go down.
Yeah.
But, 14.
He strongly believes that this person was sent to kill him. Whether, I mean, again, you were there. You saw what went down. You saw how it was provoked and how it was initiated. But he believes that that person was sent not to just take over the job and take the item to its destination. To
take the item and kill him.
Yeah.
Whichever came first.
I remember, I don't know if this is meta or not, but I remember the person did say that he was planning on getting people to kill Theron anyway after the job was over when he left.
I
don't remember if he said that to just him or if he said that when everyone was there.
I can remember that being said.
Yeah.
I think in that moment, I think it was just to Theron.
Possibly, yeah.
Because I remember Theron was getting very provoking him a lot, and I think it was just because I remember him more being like if I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead, but I guess I might just have to kill you after, or got a surprise for you and your friends kind of deal.
I never made a silence bubble. Trying to talk to him through that, and he wasn't responding. That's why I came over.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't want to do meta stuff.
No problem.
But yeah,
at least
anyway,
you checked in.
Yeah. Right. Then, is that because he was sent? Do you think he was sent to kill you because you were finishing your contract, or do you think it was a different reason?
I think if Pike was planning on doing anything at my home or leading his expedition there, maybe he did want me out of the picture.
It appears to set up shop, though.
Not to mention, how much did you tell Pike about what happened to your family and your home?
Oh, quite a lot. I mean, he told me I could trust him, and I trusted him.
Did you know Pike before whatever you did happened?
No.
No.
It was only after.
So you can openly say, sadly, what happened is your fault? Could it have been Pike?
No, it is my fault. I've understood that from as soon as it happened. I was the source. I was the problem.
That you think? Did you?
No, that I know. No one else there was left breathing. Frozen. Lifeless. and gone.
What made
That
you
was me.
want to go after this? What were you trying? What information made you try and go after whatever it was you were trying to get?
For what?
Did someone give you some information on until have to do something?
Listen, it doesn't matter. What is done is done. I know in my heart that I was the issue. I caused Geralt to fall. I just want to go and see if I can ride it. No, I know.
But you think
Well,
you did.
whether it's true or not, we're going there to ride it. At this point,
Right.
the question is: do we want to go there straight away, straight into this ambush, or do we want to try and, I don't know, get some supplies maybe? Because we could go to the northern end near my town, or even the frozen lake.
There you go.
Try
Hey,
and get.
Rayloff, we go to your home. Why don't we, like bolster our forces? We'll get an army. We'll get an army together, and we will just march across Yolderheim and into Geralf, and we will take it back.
I don't think it's going to be as big as an army, but
Come on, any more than like 7 people's an army.
There's more than 7 people on this ship.
Any more than 12 people's an army.
I think we're pretty close to 12.
We're nearly an army. We just
Red,
need some
where
from
is
the
your
town.
father waiting?
I can summon my beasts, then we'll be more than 12.
My father's just waiting in one of the small homesteads.
Okay, and so if we did gather people, is he going to be suspicious?
He's always suspicious. But if you let
Okay.
me go first and talk to him, I'll just make sure he knows that our people aren't in danger from you people.
Mm.
And then
And-
just before you actually get into, before we actually get into the town and start making progress on that, just see if you can just talk to him.
And
He wi-
absolutely under no circumstances must they drink those potions.
Right,
You'll
well,
have to convince them on that.
you tell him, I'll convince him. And then I'm pretty sure that if he is in the right mind, he'll make sure everyone else agrees with him.
What,
and if he isn't in the right mind,
Good luck.
what dock does Pike think we're gonna go to?
He didn't think of you docking anywhere.
Thought we were just going to fly.
Right.
Okay. Well, that means we're definitely docking.
I agree.
Somewhere.
We dock and then travel.
I think so. Whichever one we think is best. We can make the plan when we get closer. Or we can do it now if we've got the time.
big is this town?
And you see Theron just lean in. It's sizable. It's not like, a huge city or anything, but
Is Brenton bigger?
no. Gerloff is a little bigger than that.
So that's not too bad.
No.
It'd take us a bit, but I reckon we could even just walk that fast.
Realistically, how much of a danger do you think Pike is?
How much do I? How much do I
How
think
much
that?
do we think he's a danger?
Incredible.
Considering what we've learned
Very.
from. I sort of pointed, sort of gesture my head to where they both left from.
I'd say incredibly. That's my opinion.
I
I
think
think he's something to worry about.
I think he's really dangerous. I think we can overcome him.
We
He's very mischievous.
Right,
You don't know where he is at one given time.
Right, but you know, so am I. Okay. So am I. So you know, I like to cause a little bit of mischief, and I, have
And
been
you fail
known
at it.
to disappear.
maybe have an idea of
At
where
the
we could
worst of
get some
times.
assistance.
We just had that part in.
Shut
Worst
up.
of
What do you think?
times.
How much help do you think a dragon would be?
I mean, we just let it go. Jesus Christ. I'll call it back again.
Not
it'd be really
Addy.
helpful, but wait, not the big silver one?
No. Actually, Theron wouldn't have been there when I was talking about. Actually, I think Gerald wasn't there because he had already left. I think Theron was there when I was talking about when Raelof was talking about his mum.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't. Well, if he's getting what I'm on about it. Well, based on what I was talking about before, about why I can make myself go into ice. I'll sort of look over to Red, and I'll sort of get a bit closer to people, sort of get more of a whisper. In the mountains, that's where we would find her. But whether or not she'd come with us, I don't know.
I mean, is it like you're gonna go there and she's gonna be like, "Hey son, come give me a hug. I got some cookies," or is she more like the type that will rip us to shreds and just eviscerate us as soon as she sees us?
Oh, depending on how certain people act.
Okay,
But-
so we make sure Terra waits at the ship.
I'll still give him just a raised eyebrow.
I can be fine.
So no magic missiling my mother, yes?
Your mother's the dragon?
You weren't there. Yes.
Is she hot? You want a new dad?
I'm going to stop pulling up my halberd. And...
Okay, fine. I won't seduce your mother.
Yet.
It'd be easy though.
Right, so, okay. Fucking dragons aside. So,
You get the opportunity to.
right,
Go for it.
You won't.
I'll hold you to that, child. So,
Considering my dad is still frozen in the ice
well then he won't
where her
mind.
cave is,
He won't mind.
he's still alive in there.
Oh, he's just giving you the cold shoulder.
I will throw you off the ship.
Okay. Before the tensions rise even more. So, our plan is, what are we doing? So we're going, with Raelof, we're going to your home first. Is that
I
what you
think
want
we
to do?
need supplies. It's a good idea.
Do they have any, like, arcane magic stuff there?
No.
Do we really
is a
need to
vi-
go?
It's a lot more attention seeking than going to one of the ports. Just because they haven't been told that not to look into the ports doesn't mean he already is looking into the ports.
Oh, I can imagine that he's already got some people or someone waiting and watching. So,
If we want to go in low key, that's going to be our best bet.
right. So,
That or the frozen lake, but I don't know what things might be lurking there.
listen, I've heard real dark shit about Icewind. We don't need to go there. We don't want to chance it now. Maybe another time if we're just in the mood to explore, but not now.
Then, well, we would have to go out and back round, I imagine. But is that what we want to do? Do we want to go near? I mean, it won't be a dock. I can tell you that much.
Right. I mean,
Somewhere where our ship will be safe and not stolen.
and not destroyed down for timber for Your
Your
people.
fires or whatever.
It's not that outdated, okay?
right. But when you say it's like, there's no magic or there's no, things like that, I'm thinking, you dig a hole in the ground to take a shit.
Because there's no magic.
Right.
Just good water systems. What's wrong with digging a hole and
What's
having a
what's
shit?
right with it? Oh, I'm taking.
Feels natural.
Listen, no, I'm pooping in a
Getting back
hole
to the
and
task
worms
in
are just
hand.
all over me. No,
Then
thank
you
you.
learn to hover. You don't need
Are we
to
going
stick.
to the
I
port
I,
or
use,
are we
I use the
going
bathroom for my home. One of
Oh.
7.
Of course.
I say.
Idiot! I am unlimited.
Because you can dig a hole anywhere. It's still disgusting.
I'm gonna just walk over to Terra. I'm just gonna take out the scimitar, the dancing one. I'm just gonna sort of shove it sort of bodily into her, not to do any damage. Just sort of,
Stab!
BTN.
Oh, fuck.
I thought we were friends.
you wanted that.
Yeah. Did you want pointing down these?
Are you still wearing them?
I am still wearing them. They are my shoes.
Yeah, I'll just sort of go. Yeah, hand them over.
I'll sit down, pull out my original shoes, take them off, put new
As
shoes on.
as you sit down, Red is kind of like sitting down on the same level as you, but just like about 7 or so feet away from you, looking at you. Seems someone likes feet.
I have good feet actually. Slide off shoes. Put new shoes
Does
on.
that
I'm
mean you
going to
want
have to record all of this, and Joe's gonna pull out a piece of paper, and he's going to just write at the very top, Rayloff's kinks, and he's going to have lots of swords, feet.
1 minute downstairs.
Oh, Gerald is
You
also
know,
going to be.
I'm gonna hold out the mace. Do you know what this does, Gerald?
According to this list I'm writing, it fuels your kinks.
You want to find out?
Here's
have
your
to catch me.
shoes.
And Gerald's going to stand by the side, ready to like jump.
Listen,
go
listen.
down
Okay,
the-
all right. We're down again. Okay, you've traded shit. Okay, so Captain and
I
everyone.
was gonna say, I've said my piece. I don't care at this point. I'm just gonna take the boots and walk off downstairs.
And as you go downstairs, you just hear Theron. Okay, so we're heading to your place then.
I
No
agree.
response.
Oh, I almost forgot punching girls.
No. And
Young.
no. Brutalizing young girls.
Would I hear
Defenseless.
all of this?
You hear
Because
muffles. Yeah.
right.
Brutal defenseless.
Would I be able to tell what it's about? Because I would imagine I would just be at the top
You-
of the stairs when saying this.
Yeah, I mean, you look over your shoulder, you can see that Gerald is still like looking down with a quill and this piece of parchment, and like holding his quill up and pointing it at Terra and Terra and Theron as they're both talking to him, and like you see him like cross something out and write again.
Right. I'm gonna throw my hand axe at him, inside first, so that it's just gonna bonk him on the back of the head, not
Okay.
the axe side.
Okay, roll an attack for me.
It's dex, isn't it? So it'd be +3 and then +4 for proficiency. 14.
Yeah, you hit me.
Okay, so I'll say, what dice value is the axe?
What's 1d6 plus
1d6.
5? Well,
Okay.
be plus 3 for dex.
Okay, so I'll say
Sweet
I'll say just in that case, Gerald, you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as the back end of the axe just and just clonks you in the back of the head.
God damn it. Right. We find any more, you add 'em, but we gotta do this secretly. And I'm gonna be folding up the paper to keep it.
You just see Theron.
Throwing blunt objects. Unravels paper.
Is this more stuff like here? Oh, I'm assuming.
No,
Right.
it would definitely
I
put
don't
a
know.
quiet
I want
window.
to hand axes now.
But as soon as that finishes off, you hear Red just still sitting there, like holding her head on the side of her face. You should probably start making your way, otherwise you'll be late.
Oh, fine. Yes, we should move.
Oh, just quickly, sorry. I will be, while I'm down there, I will be attuning to the boots of the line.
Yeah, no problem. Awesome.
I'm gonna be attuning to it soon. I am gonna say to Theron though, while to say that we're gonna be en route.
Yeah.
Does Theron know where this location is going to be? Does Theron know where Rayloft's location he set out?
Oh, where's
His
home?
hometown.
No.
Yeah. Okay. But it's in Yoldheim, which I
Yeah.
already know. I don't have to change the course then for now. I'm going to keep it as is. I'm
Okay.
going to put myself aside and also attune to
Okay.
this hometown.
Red looks to you, Gerald, as she stands up, like taller than you. I'd say just a few inches, well, about a foot or so shorter than Tara.
Yeah, 'cause I'm 5 foot.
Yeah, and how tall are you, Tara?
I am 5'6".
Okay. Yeah, I'd say she's probably about 4'8" or so, 4'6". You know, so like she's small, but she's tall for her age. She looks to you, Gerald.
25.
Nice.
What?
Nice. Gerald, she looks to you, and as she stands up, and you can tell she just, comes to your chin or to your beak. She just looks up at you a little bit. So, where do I get to sleep then? Have I got my own room?
Yes, it's called downstairs with everybody else.
Right, okay.
We don't really have a lot of privacy here.
That's okay. Didn't really have much before. With me always looking after him. As she just gestures over to the rinsed out dead body that Cyanide forgot to utilise before they left.
Ah, that reminds me. I was just going to actually just grab his body and just throw it off. We're not gonna go
Yeah.
ceremonial. He is going.
You see the body just tumble. The one thing that catches you is as you kind of just lift it and like put him against the side railing, you just hear that like part of the space in his head. And you just hear that the cranium just and almost like the more brain matter just be dislodged and slush around and almost begin to start seeping out.
Oh no, not again.
Everybody just legs.
Not more.
Is the adult one still there?
I know he's already.
So I don't know if he's been moved off either.
No, he's still dead.
If he's still there, he's going off as well.
Off the side.
Yeah. Off the side. As you just drag his body across as well, leaving a lot less of a blood smear and trail that the young boy left.
No exposed brain.
Yeah, just the throat. As you just hurl over, pushing over legs, ass over tea kettle, straight over the side. And you look over and you do just watch both these bodies, one getting really small now, and the other just lifelessly spinning against the force of gravity and the wind pushing down and up, just hurling towards the ground in behind the cloud covering. You don't hear or see anything again. Yeah.
No, it's the corner. Exactly.
Just a,
Ding.
Now, I
Literally.
suppose, Red, you've got to be expected to work a little bit, at least on this ship.
right, I mean, for a friend like you, I can work. That isn't a problem.
Excellent, thank you. I'll even pay you extra. How about
Yeah. Well, I mean, what kind of room do I get to sleep in though? Because I'm getting a little tired, and I know we are setting off. What kind of room are we going for?
Be with a crew, aren't you? If you're part
I
of
will
the
show you downstairs, and I'll just lead her to like the main sleeping sort of area. Be like, you can choose any of that sort of area there.
Right.
There's-
Okay.
Um,
Sounds good. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go sleep then.
Yeah, I'm just sort of thinking about the ties and going, yes, you could sleep now. That'll work out, because then he's thinking in his head, she'll still be charmed by the time she wakes up.
Yeah. You maybe got a couple hours before.
Yeah.
All right.
Excellent. And I suppose also, Pladrines,
And a couple of them.
since we're downstairs. This girl is not to be harmed or tampered with in any way. Just so we
You
understand.
rail off.
She is a guest currently.
And two of them nod, and one goes away, and one kind of sits closest to her, but kind of getting your feeling of just watch her, but don't harm her, don't mess with her.
Yes. Also, in fact, just very quickly gather everybody here, just so that I wish to give you your names as well.
And the main Pledrine, who's kind of next to you, just stands in front of you, and just one clap, and all the other four Pledrine just bundle straight away and stand in attention. And just as you with Red beside you, and the Pledrine on the main Pledrine on the other side now turns to join the line, and you see, I think there's 5, including the
yes.
main guy. Yeah, still. You just witness all 5 Pledrines standing in front of you. These hardy individuals, ready to do whatever you say at a moment's notice, and all of them are standing in front of you, awaiting their new identities. And that's where we're going to call it and take a break for a little bit. We'll come back in just a short while and continue. So, well, I'm, as the DM, I'm ecstatic to find out what names they get. It'll be great.
One's called Bob.
Yeah, it's
called
Bob,
Gav.
Rob,
All the same.
Dobby.
Yeah.
He'll die at the end. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
Sorry,
Fauna.
Princeton.
Yeah. Darius. It'd be great. Brandina.
Should have used Darius.
Yeah. All right. Well, to everyone watching, thank you so much for sticking around. Hope you're enjoying the show. We are, and we're very much looking forward because the journey is soon to be over, and we will meet the destination of Geralt very, very soon, which is going to be fucking awesome. But in the meantime, we are going to go take a break to use the bathroom, go get some snackies. So go do the same if you are so inclined. But other than that, we will see you back in just a short while. Hello and welcome back to the game. As we come back in, as the party has finally gone over a few things and a few bits of information from Red, you've all decided that after finding out a little bit more about Pike, a lot more about Red and what she can offer you, and knowing of the coming ambush in Geralf when you arrive, your plans have somewhat changed to head to Raelof's home. Only possibly a few short days carriage ride or horse ride away from Geralf, in order to make sure that if Midola Pike has got people watching any ports or docks, you do not approach the land from the sea and be caught before you even get to Geralf. But just as you welcomed Red down to the crew quarters and where she'll be sleeping for the night, you organised all of the Pladrine to line up in front of you, Gerald, as Terra and Raelof are still on the top deck for now, as the night is shortly coming in. However, Gerald, you find yourself looking at your 5 Pladrine, your servants until the end, all lined up in front of you. And you have announced that it is time for them to get names.
Indeed. Oh, so with them all lined up with our main guy on the far right, you've all been incredibly great at serving on the ship, and I thought long and hard about what names to give you all, and I hope you all are proud of them. So, starting from my left, we have Turk, Oscar, Coda, Xavier, and Bob. My right-hand man.
Okay, let me just quickly get these in the notes.
I could always put them down later if you wanted.
Okay, so the Pladrine, your main right-hand guy, is Bob.
Is Bob.
Okay. Okay, Bob, so you got Oscar.
Turk,
Oh,
Oscar.
yeah, okay, yeah. So,
Coda spelled K-O''DAH.
nice, love it.
And then Xavier.
Okay. Okay, cool. Love it.
I hope you all, well, I know you can't say them, but wear them with pride as such.
And in that moment, all of them, including Bob, all drop down to one knee and with a hand across their chest and just bow their head to you.
Right, we've had enough resting done. It's time to get this ship moving.
And,
All to the main deck.
and they all stand up and all of them start walking out as Bob gestures for them to go up. And just as you're about to head behind the Pladrine, Bob just grabs your shoulder for a moment.
Yes?
And he just holds out his hand to meet yours.
I'll take it.
And for once, you do see a big smile on his face. Before he kind of...
Sure.
and he heads up as well. Red is just looking at all of this.
Oh, they can't speak. Don't worry about it.
Right. What did you just do?
I named them all. They didn't have any.
Weird.
What do you expect? They've literally been referred to as objects for probably all their life.
Well, I mean, I've heard that before, but, you know, they still call me Red.
Why? What's your actual name then?
Red?
there you go. Do you like that name?
It's alright.
I like it the most.
You can change it, you know.
Not illegal
Ow.
at all, not fishy.
I'll just wait until I see my father.
Yes, it's not a good idea to suddenly spring it on some people.
No, I don't know. I take it he might try to rip my legs off.
Definitely sure to
Well,
be
maybe
called
you should
Steve.
think of ways to avoid that from happening.
That's the plan, at least. Anyway, can I go sleep now for a little bit?
Yes, of course. I don't think many people, well, try not to let them disturb you, but we will be coming and going.
Okay, that's no problem. I'm a pretty heavy sleeper anyway.
You
And-
rest tight.
Captain, thank you for everything. You're a really good
welcome.
friend.
Joe's just going to wait, sort of stare there a little bit, just like. I know you're going to remember everything when you wake up properly. Just try to reflect on how we've treated you.
Okay.
I know it makes no sense now, but future you will. And I'm going to turn and walk out.
Right. And you just like leave Red very perplexed and confused as you go up to the main deck. Tara and Raelof, after a few moments, as Gerald and Red had gone below deck, the Pladrine begin heading up and through. And all of them, you notice, have a certain spring in their step, a little bit of a grin across their faces. And they keep looking at each other, and then back down to their job, and then back to each other and kind of nodding and grinning slightly.
Not in approval.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll look up, see that they're happy and smiling. Someone's doing my bastard job. Carry on.
And
shooting.
they all begin to batten down the hatches, tie off some of the ropes, get the sails furled out properly.
Do you think they're actually doing a better job now that they're nice and happy? Can
You-
I see their...
You notice that I mean, they were very effective before,
Yeah.
but now, rather than it being like a tough
job.
go of it, they are almost like voluntarily happy to be doing what they're doing.
Awesome. Definitely someone's doing my job.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, piece of shit, but thanks. Done a pretty good job, whatever they did. Back to achievement. Wow.
Wow.
Is Theron still on the top deck?
Currently, yes.
Standing on his bill.
That's it. Before I go to the main, the wheel, Theron, hand over
Captain.
that potion.
Which one?
You know which one I'm on about. And I'm referring to the engine potion, of course. 'Cause, like, you're not allowed to touch it.
But I'm the ground leader.
And we're still in the sky.
Right, okay. Fine.
Thank you. And with that, I'm going to actually take it and test it out and give it a few drops onto the engine to make us get some headway towards the mainland.
Alright. So as you go down below the crew deck and into the galley, and you go up to the illusion of crates and boxes stacked up high, you step for just close enough and the illusion disappears. And you see that cube, that large cyan glowing blue crystal cube set on one corner, just locked in with it, like the large metal cage underneath. And you have the small potion bottle, and you just kind of look up at it. But you just pull the cork, and you just put your thumb over, and you just sort of like kind of like go for like a little sprinkle, but allowing just a couple of drops to go out at a time. And instantly, you begin to hear the whirring grow louder and louder as you hear that. And it just grow and grow and grow. And in that second, as you question if what you just did was right or not, you feel your body just pushed forward into the crystal for a second. And all of you feel just a nudge and a throw as the ship begins to just coast forward, gaining speed. And I mean, if you're on the top deck, you feel the breeze now just with your hair flapping away. It's gained a tremendous amount of speed very quickly.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to go to the top, take to the wheel. And I suppose if other people aren't done, Gerald is going to start singing on the top as we're going through.
Okay.
But I can either wait until we've done some other stuff, or I can go.
All right. Well, does anyone want to do anything towards the end of this evening before nightfall?
The only thing I'm doing is a tuning.
Mhm.
From then on, I will be feeling the speed of how fast we're going. I will probably be heading towards making sure we're going the right way.
Okay.
I'm probably asking Greyloff which way would we need to go to avoid this place.
All right. And Rayloff, are you offering to help?
Yeah, I'll help it out.
Okay. So.
Just to get us out.
I should be an immediate yes.
So Tara, being a greedy bitch,
Yeah, as per.
can you roll?
As the navigator.
Yeah, as the navigator,
Yeah.
can you roll
Yeah.
a intelligence check for me, or survival?
I will.
And do it with advantage for me.
Advantage. Thank you very much. So survival. It's +8. It's 18.
Nice. You correct your course, and you find, or you point out to Gerald on how where to go to correct the course. So you are heading. Where are you aiming to head?
So we were initially, if I point you out at the map.
Let me just get it up.
Yeah. So we were heading.
Towards that exit first.
Yes.
Yeah, we were heading here.
Mm-hmm.
What we've discussed, me and Rayloff have discussed, we're going to actually go this way around.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't see us. We're going to get to about here, say.
Mm-hmm.
Then go, either we're flying in, but lowering down so they can't see us from that side, basically. And then we're going to be directed from Rayloff, from this point, to this point.
Okay.
Basically.
All right.
Yeah, so he's going to tell us where to go from there, but that's the plan. We're going to go round.
Okay. Well, I'll say with that then, and using the potion, it'll be 2 days, and you will be closing in on Rayloff's home.
That's not a problem.
So, with your course corrected, and you are free and clear to know which route you're heading towards, where you're avoiding, and what kind of altitude you want to be pitching at as you go around. Before night comes to you all, is there anything anyone wants to do before then?
If we're going to be sleeping, I'm going to be heading towards the Crow's Nest and sleeping there.
Okay.
As we've of course picked up some speed and are going along, I'm gonna rise us higher up to be like more into the cloud cover to try and get us just to stay at a higher altitude. But then Gerald is going to have his violin and he'll be playing out with like a fairly fast tempo, like a and it's got, oh, when the quest is over and the battle's won, there are lands far to the south where we're going to have some fun. The wenches, they are plenty. The alcohol is free. A party lasts all through the night, and alcohol is free. Whoa, tonight we drink together. Whoa, tomorrow we may die. Yo, Crystal Grove, fall to the south by the cactus grows. Tequila and a donkey show. Crystal Grove, yo, Crystal Grove. Talk to the south by the cactus grows. Take me away to the ice and the snow. Let's go to Crystal Grove.
And you get to hear Theron's
Yeah!
dad. Fuck yeah! It's just
Crystal Grove!
yeah, Crystal Grove, man.
He's fucking going for it.
Yeah, and with the speed and the intensity, as you're singing, and it picks up, the Pladrine on deck begin to slam their feet, keep
Where's
the tempo.
Forwards roll.
He doesn't need one for that shit. Fuck no.
does?
As the feet are slamming and you feel the adrenaline begin to surge, and you are a pirate.
It is. Oh, I do have the second verse as well. Go for it.
What was it, sorry?
Okay, he's gone.
Bless
I do
me.
have the second verse as well, actually. Oh, a pirate's life is simple. We drink and steal and kill. Always we are questing. It's such a bigger thrills. We sailed across the oceans, got drunk in many bars. But when we sailed to Crystal Grove, that's where we party hard. Yo, tonight we drink together. Yo, tomorrow we may die. I will go back there.
Yeah, and the feet are stomping, and everyone in this night is just fucking alive as you sing along, and you hear a couple of hums from the Pladrine as you hit the chorus, and they just and just begin to go with you, and you feel in that moment, this is what a captain should be like. This is what sailing through the fucking sky should be like.
At breakneck pace as well.
A breakneck pace, yeah. So, unless there's anything anyone wants to do before the night comes,
No, we're all cool.
Very happy with that.
everyone
Yeah,
good?
I'm very happy with it also.
I'll do something once people have gone to bed.
Oh,
Okay.
so I will try to see if I can crush down these diamonds that I've pretty tried to crush before.
Okay, roll a strength check for me.
Mhm.
And Gerald,
Not
I
gonna-
know I usually save this for the end of the episode, but just before I forget, I want to give you an inspiration point for that,
Oh,
because
thank
that was fucking awesome. I love that shit.
5.
Yeah, not a chance. You begin pressing on one, and it almost and just like flings off somewhere, and you go grab it, and you kind of give up for the night.
Fair play. Rather for the rest of the day. That's fine.
Yeah.
And that was 2 checks.
Tara, you go into the crew deck, and you find on the hammock that you slept on, you see Red. Just lightly snoring away in your hammock.
Clench my fist. Does my pillow look like it's been like she's off enough for me to pull it away? She would.
What you've noticed she's done is she's folded the pillow over and lodged it behind her head. As she's just lightly.
Son of a bitch. I'm still gonna head up towards the crow's nest, but I'm gonna be pissed off before I get while I'm getting
Yeah.
going up the bus like fuck. Why is it mine of all places?
Gerald, you hear Tara's frustration as she mumbles under her breath and very like angstily like stomps up the crow's nest in a huff.
She could have been. She just why?
It's just good to sort of listen. If he just about hears sort of the frustration overall, it's like, I think I'd. And he's just chuckled to himself.
Yeah. And soon before long, Gerald, you find the right course, and you correct yourself indefinitely, knowing that by the time you wake up, you should be just approaching the Alduheim.
Yep. I guess the thing only lasted for a few hours at this rate, did it? The potion.
It gave you a really big. It gave you a really good jump. Actually, can you roll a d20 for me?
Okay.
And it'll be a 10 or lower.
It's an 8.
8. Okay. So it gives you a good push for 2 hours, but then it slowly begins to diminish over the next few. It has shortened your journey by half a day.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it should be about a day and a half before you reach Railof's home. Just because of the immense speed that you picked up, it made a massive difference. If I get the map up, I'd say already just from where you were with that big nudge, you find yourself about here.
Nice.
Yeah, so essentially, of course, we're going to be waiting until the main burst of speed is going and we're starting to settle down, that I'll let it be able to run its course.
Okay, yeah, and you lock the wheel in place. The Pladrine, as you see Tara, she heads up to the mast, to the crow's nest, and Tara kind of you sit there and you just and just with like a sort of a pissed off face, with a furrowed brow, she just and goes pretty much still. And at the point, Gerald, when you do make your way down to the crew deck to your quarters, the Pladrine.
Oh, I'm going to make a point as the Pladrine go down. I say, right, crew, time to go. It's been a good day. And I'm going to say, good night, Turk. Good night, Oscar. Good night, Coda. Good night, Xavier. And good night, Bob. As they all head down to make
and
sure.
all of them nod in gratitude as you wish them all good night, individually by their new names, as they all fill out the room and head to their mats and hammocks that lay there for them. Can one of you who hasn't rolled yet?
We've all rolled now.
Have
I was
you all
going to say, yeah,
rolled?
we've all rolled.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is Theon? Oh yeah, no, yeah, because we've gone enough days. So anyone who wants to volunteer, can you roll a d20 for me for the next day and a half of travel?
Let's hope I get a better roll than last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was definitely
Well,
better than
take
last
that.
time.
Yeah.
18.
18. Okay, awesome.
Question:
Yes.
with using the potion,
Mm-hmm.
do we feel a pull back to where we originally were, or do we drift in motion?
It's
to
more
a slower?
it's more so the initial jump, right? But
Yeah.
then as the speed diminishes or the potion
Gradually.
diminishes, you gradually drift from that speed into a nice, comfortable.
Cool.
Uh,
So we do
speed.
technically get a bit of extra
Yeah.
out of it.
Oh yeah.
Cool. I'll take it.
Over the next day and a half of travel, you all find no interruptions. You find smooth sailing ahead and the ability to just coast with no interruptions. However, you all, after having a night of slumber, Rayloff, did you want to do something?
Well, it'll be
as
like in
everyone was doing?
the midnight.
Okay. You all do drift off into a slumber, finding your crow's nest, your occupied hammock, or your empty
still-
bed.
Every time
Yeah.
find out that she's there,
Yeah.
annoyedly go upstairs.
and all of you find your own space again to go to sleep. As the rest of the crew does find themselves snoring and drooling. Rayloff, you find yourself up late. What would you like to do?
Well, it's not as much we're up late. It's he does go to sleep, but basically in the middle of the night he wakes up from a nightmare, and the nightmare is basically him just reimagining him falling to the ground and slamming on it, and he does just jolt up awake.
You, in your mind, in that instance, you open your eyes and you see the deep blue around you. You feel that cold tornado of a breeze hurling from below you and just pushing up against your features, and all you're able to hear is that of wind passing by, and you look down and you see the ground getting closer and closer and closer and bigger and bigger and bigger, and just as your form touches the surface of the earth of Valdur, you and as you do jolt up, and your conscious is roused and your eyes open in shock, and just a breath to know that you're still on the ship. You're not falling. You do see in Tara's hammock, you see Red looking at you.
I'll always take a minute just to stare off into space. If I look back and she's still looking, I'm just gonna. Yeah, What?
You trouble, mate?
I didn't see what you said, sorry.
Are you troubled, mate?
Isn't everyone?
No, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Somehow, I don't think it will. I'm just gonna start walking up to the upper deck.
You just hear her kind of like curl and turn over in the hammock. You see her take the pillow out from underneath her, unfold it so it's straight, and then fold it the other way and tuck it roughly behind the back of her head before she.
So good, your fucking job. She doesn't know how I'm saying it.
And she rolls over.
I can
or
see her
turns
fucking
around.
doing. Makes it straight, goes to flop it back off. Then it. Son of a bitch.
Just a quick
Off
question.
the side.
Oh, keep my pillow, bitch. So Rayloff, you.
Oh, just a quick question. Just because I just thought of it. As a Warforged, you don't technically sleep, do you?
No.
So you are technically conscious.
That's why I'm on the crow's nest, because I can at
Same
least
goes to
see
me as
what's
well.
coming.
Oh, are you on the crow's nest as well?
No, as in, I don't
Yeah,
technically
sitting
sleep. I like just sort of, I basically half meditate throughout most of it.
Oh, okay.
As a form of resting, almost like Elvish type style.
Yeah. Well, just because I know for Warforged, it's like they are still conscious around them.
Yeah.
They can still sense around them. They're just inactive.
I can find the particular words.
No, it's
Describes
more
it, if you
because meta-wise, I wouldn't know that, but I was just thinking it's going to make the next bit a bit interesting. So, what Rayloff's plan is basically, well, not really a plan, but just going up onto the side, onto the upper floor. He's going to go to the well, it's not really a training dummy, but I can't think what the word is.
Oh, yeah, combat dummy.
Yeah. Where is it set up at the minute?
Wherever you set it up last.
It would have just been off to the side then. That's fine. So then, yeah, he's just gonna stare at it for a good minute, and he's just gonna do a very distinctly reptilian snarl, and he's gonna go into rage, and he's going to spend that entire minute wailing on that dummy in silence.
Okay. So, Tara,
Just in rage.
Yeah.
the thing
It does say I'm in an inactive, motionless state, so I'll still be facing forwards.
yeah,
But you
I'll
would
just be
hear
able
it.
to see and hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. But I
You-
wouldn't know. I
Not
was
able to
just
do
saying,
anything about
like,
it.
yeah, you hear heavy footfalls up on the top deck below you, and you hear just
Sorry.
yeah,
Go on.
you hear a very sharp before you just hear a sharp intake of breath before you begin to hear and just a solid minute of flesh hitting wood.
well, it'd be
Oh,
ice
yeah.
hitting wood.
Oh, sorry, ice hitting wood. Just the hard, almost stone-like ice, just cracking off slightly, hitting against the wood. Some of the wood you hear like slight little, just like creaks in there. Other parts you hear and splinters just cascading.
Nice. That's cool. I
Okay.
can't do anything about it.
No.
Well,
But I
mean,
know it's you. And I know what you're doing.
I don't know. I don't know if you would be able to reactivate yourself. I don't know. How that
As in,
would
I
work.
can't. I'm in an inactive state.
You powered down.
Powered down. Boom.
Yeah. To be fair, I didn't know how it worked. I wasn't sure
It's
whether
all
it's
cool.
like you can just use it.
I can see and hear. I just can't do anything for 6 hours. I still take a long
Okay.
rest.
Yeah.
You can watch
But it
you can
means
watch your whole family get killed in front of you, but you still just have to sit there and watch it, motionless,
Like this.
screaming inside like.
Fuck you. Don't do anything with my
I
problem.
don't know if that would wake anyone up actually. Without hitting it.
Hey Gerald,
Hmm.
can you roll a perception check with disadvantage for me?
Theon's very perceptive, though, isn't
Oh wow. That's 24.
he? Oof.
The first one was a nat 20, and then the second one was 18. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. None of the rest of the crew or allies really perk up to this because of low fucking rolls. But Gerald, you hear just one deck above. You hear the dull thuds of like stone against wood, sounding out muffled and slight, but still present for a minute straight, almost like just a machine gun flurry of these impact sounds. And it goes on roughly for about a full minute before it just
As it goes
Well,
on.
I will say as well. Sorry. After that minute, you'll hear nothing, but then you'll just hear a full body hitting the floor.
okay.
Well, I was gonna say during the first 30 seconds or so of hitting, I was gonna try and say I'll stealthily try and creep up
Alright.
to view what's on the
Roll a
top.
stealth check for me, please.
And that is 15.
15. As you pass up the stairs, just when you get to the middle, like, partition, where the small little kitchen and cupboard is, you hear a voice quickly snake out to you.
Captain, what are you doing up?
I heard a noise. I'm gonna go check it out.
Theon. Is he okay? Okay.
Yeah, I think he's still asleep downstairs.
Okay. Good night.
Wait, Seabiscuit, before you go,
Hmm?
I just wanted to say I appreciate you doing all the cooking on the ship.
And in the glistening light that's just peeking down through the stairs, you see the light glistening off of a wide Cheshire grin, toothy maw, as it curls up the sides just next to the corners of her large eye.
Thank you. So much.
You get some rest. Well,
Good night.
good night.
Good night.
And the door just... as you head up.
Theon's actually with Seabiscuit.
Yeah. As you... now you know why she stutters.
Exactly.
You
All
head,
the time.
you head up to the main deck, and just for the last 15 seconds or so, or 10 seconds, you see Rayloff covered in ice, most on his fists that are chipping away as he's hammering at this training dummy and splitting off wood and ice before he stops.
Timber.
And the large, tall, girthy Goliath form just slams down face first on the deck. The ice dissipates and you're left with just a sweaty, exhausted mess of your Goliath ally.
I had to walk up and just sort of, as soon as I could see that he is breathing, even if it's from a distance, then I'll go down. I'll actually grab the blanket that is on the bed.
He's
Then
still,
just
well,
pop-
he is still awake. He's just exhausted at this point.
Even so you'll hear some footsteps sort of start to approach you, not fully get to you, head down, and then approach you again. But this time you'll feel something relatively light just be placed over you, and the wind chill's just gonna stop.
Are you putting it on me?
Yes,
Like,
I'm just draping a blanket over you.
okay. When you do that, Rayloff's just gonna grab your hand like that. And he's gonna look up to you. When he does look up, his eyes are starting to turn very reptile-esque, so the line down the center, and I think it's dark blue, yeah, rather than his normal silver eyes. But they're going to look very afraid. It's as if he's still looking off into a dream.
Rayloff? Is it actually you that's there? And he's going to ready Roland's psychic lance in his hand behind him.
Okay. You feel that surge of magic just rush out of your mind and your chest and down your arm, and you feel that sort of like mild shaking in your hand behind just readying that spell, and just looking up to the scared and almost terrified face.
Looking down this time, it's a different
of
feeling.
Rayloff, yeah.
Mhm.
And this will be just a couple of seconds, just staring off, but after that it'll just sort of very dissipate and just go back to a silver. What? Gerald, what? Why are you up here?
I could ask you the same thing. You're causing a bit of a ruckus.
Yeah, well, oh, there's worse noises to hear at night, isn't there?
That is true. But you are still Rayloff, right?
I'm not going to turn into a metal whatever it is. No. I'm still me.
No, that's good. I'm going to just let the magic dissipate.
Yeah, as you just feel
Look,
that.
fire.
I just want to get this right. Rayloff did say he's not going to turn into a metal whatever.
Yes. You know, you can spend your night there if you wish. Or you can always come down.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can let go of my arm now.
Not even realising it's...
You let go, and you look to Gerald's like sort of black feathered arm, and you see where the feathers have been like depressed and bent and held down so tightly. Gerald, he lets go. Oh, sorry, yeah, Gerald Rayloff lets go, and you feel that. Oh.
Just good to sort of rub the back out of his, getting almost, you know, sort of free the back out to be normal and just, yeah. As the pressure comes back, just squeezing my hand like that. Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, why? Do you ever seen your life flash before your eyes before?
In a sense. But more of, I kind of dreamt my life. And now it all just sort of came to an end.
Right.
What are you referring to?
Well, I'm not going to ask about what you and Daddy got up to, but I'm assuming you know enough about any sort of reptilians to know that they can be quite, or they can be quite angry a lot of the sometimes.
I haven't seen the anger, but I've seen the power.
Well, apparently, my side of it anyway, that came through. And, well, it's part of why the ice surrounds me when I get angry, I suppose.
You have never looked calm during it.
I thought I was over this to try and control it, but obviously not. Turns out having fallen from the top of a flying ship and barely surviving isn't good for your mental state. Who'd have thought?
The once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah. What exactly is our plan once we do get to Pike?
If I'm being honest, I don't know. I don't see much use in killing him unless he is this whole evil entity. I also don't know if we just hand him over to some guards. This doesn't feel right. I'm not one to dispense out automatic justice straight away.
Most people think of the strong live and the weak die, but if from what we've heard he's as bad as we think he is, what exactly are we gonna do if we're not strong enough?
I suppose we hope to realize it fast enough, and we retreat and live another day.
And then what? We just wait until we can
We
fight
get
him.
stronger. It's the only thing we can do.
Yeah.
Either that, or we go find a nice corner to hide in, and watch as the world gets destroyed.
Or consumed, apparently. I can't help but feel like we're getting into something that's over our heads more so than normal.
I suppose only the brave will take up something that they think they're not ready for, and only the brave will succeed. The weak are just going to run and never realize their true potential. Plus, there is something a bit thrilling about taking on an impossible task and succeeding.
That's because you get off to fighting things that are way stronger than you, in more ways than one.
Maybe so, but I'm still here, having this conversation with you.
You won't be for long if she finds out that you sleep around after whatever it is that you two did.
But that is where you're wrong. Before, I've already got permission.
From Addie or from her?
From Addie, of course.
And do you think that will be enough? Or
How am I supposed to know? I haven't even tried sleeping with anyone else yet.
Was that the offer? If so, yes.
I've managed a few days without needing any.
well, considering how many people are left on the ship, let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah, a little good.
Don't worry.
It's not forced.
I'll save you for last, shall I? Good night, Rayloff.
And Gerald heads down
Just
below
before I turn down the corner, my last impossible challenge.
Well, before you start going down, you can pass me back my hand axe.
Oh, I just left it over there.
So it was very just disgruntled look, and I'm just going to start walking over towards it.
And
Yeah.
as you pick it up and grab it, you turn back round. Gerald is nowhere to be seen.
I will take a second to look at what's left of the dummy, if there is anything.
You look and there is... The torso is still mostly there. I'd say about like half of the torso is still attached to the base. The arms are gone and the head is completely crushed.
Yeah. Well, I'm no woodworker, that's for sure. I'm just going to start heading back down.
Okay. As you head back down and you get into your hammock, And you just lie there for a second, looking up at the ceiling. Through the snores and the groans and the grunts throughout this room, you hear a small voice pick up in your ears. Hey.
So just lift my head back up again.
And you see Red looking at you from her hammock. Now with the pillow straight, but rather than folded in half vertically, she's now done it horizontally. So put like the pillow like this, like the rectangle here, and folded it half, and she's got it like tucked in her side as she's leaning. And she just says to you, Olaf, do you feel better now? Or not at all?
Well, I definitely feel better than when I just woke up.
You know what my father says? He says that if you're about to do something stupid, just think of all the other stupid things you'd rather be doing. Food for thought.
Off his hide. Fucking mess with my pillow, she will be.
For the rest, good advice.
He's a really smart man when he wants to be. Other times he's just absolutely fucking nuts.
That definitely sounds like a parent.
Right.
You thinking mad?
You'll be fine, friend. And if you need to talk, I'm always around.
Yeah. Thanks.
Good night, friend. And she takes the folded pillow out, plumps it up, and begins to just plump it up, and about to put it behind her head before she stops. And just fluffs it a bit more. And then folds it horizontally again and tucks it like along her shoulder and just under her back. And just rolls into the hammock.
Yeah, you're fucking fed.
But all
A
of you,
whole 6 hours of devising a plan how to remove the pillow.
how to remove her head from her shoulders.
How to remove her. What a song.
We need to get a t-shirt for that. So all of you find a well-deserved night's rest. And
Because I can sleep a long rest in 6 hours.
Yeah.
And knowing that Rayloff was fighting, so he was obviously up for that time while I was asleep. The remaining time that when I'm up before then and when Rayloff gets up, I want to keep using mending and try to mend his
dummy.
training dummy.
Okay.
For, even though obviously it's only per minute, obviously I'm assuming we were all generally asleep and then he started fighting, so I know at least I've got a good hour of just...
I'd say you got a good
Well,
couple
two.
hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least a good couple
So,
hours.
I'm going to just be mending the best as I can
Okay.
out of it. Obviously for ready for when he's back up, and then I'm going to play it as I haven't touched it.
Okay.
That's the point.
So, as the new dawn sun crests over the gorgeous, now shimmering golden and yellow clouds around you, you all begin to wake up, taking and noting you have all just completed a long rest. And as you come to wake from your slumber, the Pladrine are already up and making sure doing their checks of the ship in the morning before they eat some breakfast. And as you all get up, Rayloff, you notice as you get to the top deck, that training dummy that was once in pieces is now together again, almost as well, pretty much as flawlessly as when you built the thing.
If anything, slightly improved. Got less squeaks.
I'll sort of like just go up to the top of the ship just normal, and then I'll just sort of see that and just go, what? And just sort of walk over to it, and just sort of like feel around it, just sort of see.
It's solid, absolutely solid.
Definitely wasn't like that when I went back down.
If you
I'm gonna
do,
go
if,
for-
if you do look around, you'll see me like walking around with my hands behind my back, looking outside, just towards the vastness of space that we're in. But if you're very particular, in fact, I was gonna just ask if you wanted to see if you would look out for it in particular. Just in general, you'll see the hands over behind my back. But if anything, if you could hint that it was me,
Would he be able to pick it up? That's the question.
because okay, problem. No.
Problem.
So I was gonna ask if you wanted to see if you could see my lodestones in my hands. Knowing that
Right.
I could hear you setting up, so I've stopped. So then, yes, very good.
Go on then.
All right, roll a
No.
no.
I got a 9.
Oh, yeah, no, you don't spot them. You just see
You can see that
Tara.
on there.
You see Tara there.
You could kind of go, maybe, but
No,
I'm
well,
ju-
with
I'm
the
just-
intelligence
no.
roll, it's like I probably wouldn't be able to think that you would have done it. So
no worries. I will play that.
That's so-
I haven't done it.
yeah,
I'm
So-
obviously I know.
you can definitely tell he's very confused and
Yeah.
sort of trying to think whether that actually happened or not. I'll just sort of carry on after that and just.
If I can hear his steps away, I'm going to bang hole it. Okay. Yes.
Right. Well, in that case, all of you do notice as you do look off to the side after some breakfast, you begin to see below you land once again. Most of it covered in a shock white sheen and a blanket of snow. The temperature instantly becomes freezing cold. Like you've had chili, but this is freezing right now as the cold air now begins to churn around you. Constantly whirring across all of you, Rayloff, and for Theron to a degree. This is a welcome feeling. Just nostalgia and the home comforts of the natural climate back again. You all look over the side of the ship and you begin to see the large continent of Yolduheim just below you. You see the vast forest just barely behind the gigantic just swarm of mountains from the giant's throne peaks. It's just incredible and so vast and huge. You can gently just get a glimpse of Icewind's Whisper, the large, like almost colossal body of water that has rested there within Yolderheim for centuries upon centuries. As you begin curling round over the next couple hours, you, around the far northwest of the continent, as you come eastward, you begin to see the large towers of Krilgard Charge sticking straight up, this vast city. Almost like you look down into the incredibly large city, easily housing 100,000, maybe 200,000 people, easy, with small dots of homesteads and small businesses and large towers and schools. You look down and you just feel like looking down into a goldfish's bowl and seeing the worlds apart from everywhere else, contained in this relatively small space. You see the large towers rise up, dotted with different windows and stone. You notice a couple other towers set with these large wooden platforms and piers set hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet up, different intervals of of where piers are jutting out from these towers. You see the forest that contrasts against this incredible city. You notice the mountains surrounding the shoreline and the forest. You curve around and you see now further south, and you see the small indents of where the continent glides in and then retracts back out, where the land is shock with snow. But then the ever so subtle foliage of green barely peeking through the blanket of white. You see the large grey and blackened mountain peaks firmly sticking straight or jaggedly making their way to the skies. And that cold, freezing chill really just digs deep into all of you. And you find yourselves very quickly reaching your destination and beginning to lower altitude as the Pladrine begin to hand off ropes to the other and to the other, the sails furling slightly in, and the ship, the engine, you hear the and just drop into that very low semitone or the low octave as the power is slowly being restored, yet not being utilized as much, as you all begin to just float down and down further and further, hundreds and hundreds of 1,000 feet down, and you gently begin to feel of large waves of water hitting the hull and the underside of the galley, and that feeling in your stomach of seasickness almost comes back tenfold as the ship just breaks open the surface of the water and the engine goes completely dull as you feel of the ship now rocking, to you all now unnaturally so, against the water and the waves. And you see just in the not so far off distance where the continent just recedes in slightly into this small little indent as you begin to follow the curve of the continent. Ralof, you very quickly start to see home beginning to push closer and closer to your eyes. And all the thoughts racing around in your head, the feelings that are conflicting against each other, of all the days and the miles that all of you have crossed and travelled, you are now in Joldurheim, and you are now only minutes away from your home, Ralof.
It would be up here then.
If I get the map again. If I can move the thing.
Oh, that quick.
Right. Yeah. Get rid of this then.
And Ralof, just as you begin to, your stomach churns slightly a little. You're nervous, you're excited, you're scared, you're confident. You've got same ideals but new ideas, new company. And just in this moment, you all hear from below deck. You hear a very muffled, "Right, just get off me, you stupid bitch!" And you hear of a ruckus starting downstairs as Gerald, you just time it out that the charm has just ended.
And so it begins.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode and come back next week to pick it up from there. Now, I know I said I shouldn't be as generous with the inspiration points. However, Gerald, I already gave you one earlier for the song because that was fucking magnificent. Ralof, I want to give you an inspiration point for the amazing just roller coaster of the story that you tell. And Terra, I mean, fuck it, just for you dealing with the pillow.
Thanks. It hurt me
But
on the
yeah.
inside.
But seriously though, guys, I love you all so much, and it's again, every time I get these moments where I just give out inspiration points to everyone, it just reminds me how much I love playing this game with you and how amazing you guys make it. So thank you for playing. It is awesome. And I am super excited now to see what happens as we're touching ground.
100%. Does that make Rayloff
touching
the new ground leader?
I
Because we're in
guess
his
if
house
I mean
I feel like that needs to be discussed.
that needs to be discussed. But
Zero's like, so
yeah.
And we're like, nah.
Yeah, we're like, Raylof's in charge. Get fucked.
Yeah.
Back of the queue. Yeah, awesome. I'm really excited for next week. To everyone sticking around, we hope you've enjoyed it. It's been awesome. The long, maybe a little bit arduous at times, Skyship journey has now come to an end, and we are now touching ground in Joldurheim for whatever this eventually leads to. Raylof's home, Theron's home, and whatever conflicts and shit lies in
Hopefully
between.
still there.
Yeah. But we're glad you've enjoyed it. If you have, we hope to see you again on the next time. You can follow all of our socials, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all Talk No Dice, and follow, subscribe, comment, whatever shit you want to do. If you want to do anything, if not, who gives a fuck? Just enjoy the show. But with all of that said and done, thank you very much for watching. It was a lot of fun, and we'll see you again next time.